Okay, so there's thing called the paradox choice. Yeah, that's way to call it. And basically, the more option you have, the harder it to choose, and the less satisfied you are with whatever you pick. And that's the theory, I think. And if you really think about it, like you go to restaurant, small menu, 5 option, easy you pick one, you're happy. But if the menu has 50 option, you're stressed, you're overthinking, and you order something, and you're like, damn, I should have gotten the other thing. And that's what's happening with our life. And we have infinity option, infinity paths, infinity filters, and our brain aren't built for that. And your brain is designed to handle like 3 choice max. If you got to restaurant, like I said before, it may be pick between chicken, cow, and pig, or something like that. And but now you're asking it to choose between living in Japan, living in Germany, living in New Zealand, being an entrepreneur, or being a racer, being a content creator, being a family, being nothing, and being minimalist, being rich, being peaceful, being wealthy, being rich, but being a investor, being a racer, being a family man, being a minimalist, being an architect, or even being broke. Or you just pick whatever you want, and your brain just freezes because every option sounds good, every option has pros and cons, and every option could be the right one, like, or the wrong one. And so at the end of the day, you don't choose, you keep researching, keep planning, keep imagining, and you make spreadsheet, you watch YouTube videos, you ask people advice, but you never actually move because moving means committing, and committing means giving up all the other possibilities. And that feels like death. And choosing one life feels like killing all the other version of yourself. And the racer you, the peaceful you, the richer you, the Japan you, the German you, all the potential lives, and it's just all gone. And because you pick one, so instead you pick none, and you stay stuck. So here's what I realized though, and what I'm sitting here planning my future, my actual life is passing by. I'm so busy imagining plan A, B, C, D, and I'm not executing any plan. I'm not in Japan. I'm not at racing at Nurburgring or something like that. I'm not in New Zealand. I'm here just in my room daydreaming. And that's the trap, bro. And planning feels productive. It feels like you're doing something. You're thinking about the future. You're being smart, considering all your options. But you're not doing anything. You're just thinking, and thinking doesn't build a life, and action does. So I spend hours imagining what my life in Japan would be like, what apartment I get, what I, what I do every day, and what it will feel like. But I haven't learned Japanese. I haven't saved money. I haven't applied for a visa, and I haven't done one real things that get me closer to it. But I've also spent hours imagining racing life, like what I car I get, what tracks I go, how I look, and but I haven't taken a single racing session in my local track. And I haven't joined any track day, but even drive a sport car. And I've planned this life in detail in my head, but in reality, I'm not closer to any of them. And yeah, I know planning is safe. Planning doesn't require risk. Planning doesn't require failure, and planning doesn't require you to face reality. And you can imagine perfect life in Japan, and your imagination it's flawless, and you're happy, everything works out. But if you actually go to Japan, reality hits. Maybe you hate it, maybe it's not what you expected, maybe you fail. And so you still in the planning path where everything is perfect and nothing is real. So here's the thing, and that really mess up. And every time I think about committing the one future, I feel like I'm losing all the others. And if I choose Japan, I lose my racing life, I lose my peaceful mountain in New Zealand, and I lose the entrepreneur green life, and that feels terrible because all those life sounds good, and all of them have something I want. And so I'm stuck thinking, what if I pick wrong, what if I choose Japan and then I regret choosing the rest life, and what if I choose peace and feel bored, and what if I choose green and then burn out, and the fear of picking wrong paralyzes me and from picking at all, and that's the whole thing. But here's what I'm starting to realize, and no, choosing is a choice and it's the worst one. So it's like you gotta choose, but if you got so many choose, you cannot choose, and that so fucking sucks, I think. Because while I'm sitting here refusing to commit to any future, I'm living the default future, the one where I do nothing, go nowhere, become no one, just exist, stuck in indecision. And that's not even one of that's the option I get by refusing to choose. Also here's the reality, and no matter what you choose, you will lose something, and that's how life works. You can have everything, you can be everywhere, and you can live every possibilities you want, and you're one person, you want life, and you gotta pick, bro. And yeah, that means saying goodbye to other version of yourself, you thinking the razor you, the peaceful you, the nomad you, and they won't exist because you can be the only one. And that's not a bad thing, that's just because reality. And once you accept that, you can actually move forward. And here's the twist that hit me recently, and while I'm paralyzed by all these future options, the life I'm living right now is the choice I'm making. And I keep saying I cannot decide, but I've decided to stay stuck, to keep planning, to keep imagining, to not commit. So you you forgot there's an option, and hide that option, like saying future you is just keep deciding. That's still an option to me. And I just realized it. And because every day I don't move toward Japan is a day I'm choosing not to live in Japan. Every day I don't wanna learn to race, and it's a day I'm not choosing to be a racer. And my indecision is not natural, and it's an active choice to live the life and I have now, which is not the life I want. And that's the brutal truth. And you can wait the perfect clarity, the perfect sign, the perfect moment to choose. And because the moment doesn't exist, and you just have to pick something and move toward it and see what happens. And if it's wrong, you can change, and you're not signing your life away forever. You can move to Japan, hate it and leave, and you can try racing and realize it's not for you and stop. But at least you tried, at least you move, and at least you live in Japan with something real instead of imagining the perfect life that never happened. And eventually you get to know where you headed to. You start doing, and you finally find a point where you actually where you wanted to be. And this is sound backward, but commitment is actually a freedom. And when you commit to one path, when you stop wasting energy on all the other path, you stop researching, you stop comparing, you stop guessing, you just go. And that's when life actually start happening. And right now I'm spending so much mental energy imagining Japan versus Germany versus New Zealand, comparing them, weighing pros and cons, going in circles. But if I just pick one and committed, all that energy will go into actually building that life and learning language, meeting people, making it real. And yeah, maybe it won't be perfect. Yeah, that's not the point of this life. And maybe I'll get to Japan and realize it's not what I thought, and maybe at least I know, and then I can adjust, move somewhere else, trying something different, and try something different. But I'll be living, but not just imagining. And living an imperfect life is way better than imagining a perfect fake one. You gotta hear that one because that sound cool. And the people who actually do cool thing, they're not smarter than you. They didn't have better option. They just pick something and went all in. And while you're while you're stuck comparing plan A, B, C, D, E, F, G, or even until Z or something like that, they pick plan A, and they're already 3 years in building and adjusting, living it, and you're still step one planning A, B, C, D, something like that. And so here's what I'm telling myself about this, and maybe you need to hear this too. Okay, you need to pick something, and it doesn't have to be perfect, it doesn't have to be forever, it just has to be something. And stop waiting for the perfect sign, stop waiting for to feel ready. And you're never gonna feel 100% sure about this, but there's always gonna be doubt, there's always gonna be fear, and there's always gonna be other option. And but there's always gonna be other option, but you have to move anyway. Pick the thing that excites you most right now, and not the safest, not the most logical, and the one that makes your heart beat faster when you think about it. And you go toward it, and not halfway, not kinda, and you just try all into that. And stop making backup plans. It's personal choice, but because backup plans are just excuse to not fully commit to plan A. And if you're moving to Japan, move to Japan and keep one foot in your hometown, just in case. And you're gonna race and don't help raise it. And because half as commitment get half as result. And then you'll think, see, I knew it wouldn't work, and I knew it's not gonna work, and but it didn't work because you didn't actually try all in. And so yeah, the paralysis of infinity possibilities, I feel it, you probably feel it too. And we have so many options, so many potential futures, and it's feel and we have so many options, so many potential futures, and it's overwhelming. But here's the truth: while you're trying to choose the perfect life, you're not living any life. So pick one and commit to build it. And if it's wrong, you can change your redirect, change your route, and at least you'll have leave something. And instead of imagining everything and experiencing nothing, and your future is gonna build itself, bro. And you have to pick a direction and walk. So what it gonna be? Japan, German, Nurburgring, New Zealand, United States, United Kingdom. It doesn't matter after all. You just pick and go. And that's it if you're stuck in planning mode like me. And let me know in the comment, hit the like and subscribe, whatever it is. And yeah, peace, bro.